We were at war. Everything I did for my house and my family. I'd do it all again.
The
I
things
can't-
we do for love.
Oh my god! He probably thought he was a mute or something because he never spoke. He just sits there.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Cam. This is Zay, and we are here watching Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm extremely excited to get into this one. But before we do, okay, if you like movies, you have got to check this out. This is a really cool piece of movie art that gives you the essence of your favorite movie in your home. It's called Movie Palette. Movie Palette is a special form of art, and here's how it works.
By analyzing and identifying the dominant colors corresponding with each individual scene of your favorite movie, artists specialized in the digital world are able to craft a beautiful piece of artwork that encapsulates your cherished film as a whole. The colors are laid out in chronological order from left to right, with varying sizes corresponding to the time on screen.
Yes, that's right. They take your favorite movies and transform them into amazing art. Movies speak to us. We connect with the characters, we follow along with the plot, and we soak in the script as if we were living it.
Now imagine getting to take all those feelings of entertainment like no other and putting them on a canvas to engage with, to speak to you, and to admire in your home.
I got a movie palette of one of my top favorite movies of all time, Avatar. Whenever I see it, I remember scenes from the movie as if they were playing in front of my eyes, and that's what it can do for you. It can say, remember that action scene? Remember that love scene? Remember the laughter, the array of emotions you had during this movie?
Or maybe you just want one that works best for your home. With Movie Palette's wide collection to choose from and the ability to create custom palettes, the opportunities are endless. Personally, I'm still browsing for one that works best for me, and I can't wait to get my hands on one.
And don't forget to use the coupon code Cam&Zay15 at checkout. That's CAMANDZAY15 to get 15% off.
And guys, by supporting Movie Palette, you're supporting us as well. So don't miss out on this incredible piece of artwork and get yourself a Movie Palette today.
If you guys like what you're watching, leave a like down below. Subscribe to stay tuned for more. And if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this and the rest of the show, you can check that out on Patreon. And by rest of the show, I mean, yeah, the last 4 episodes. There's not much left to go. So yeah. I am excited to get into this, like I mentioned. Zay, what do you remember previously?
Yeah, episode of interactions in Winterfell for sure. You know, we got to see reunions upon reunions. Jon came back to Winterfell with Dany, the Unsullied, you know, just the Dothraki, her dragons. The Lords of Winterfell, or the Lords of the North, were not too pleased. You know, kind of calling into question Jon's loyalty to the North, it seemed like, to him bending the knee and recognizing Dany as a queen. Which is interesting because good old Sam stumbled upon Jon in the crypt and said, hey, by the way, buddy, you're a king. Not king of the North. You're king of it all. And Jon looked like he was shitting, pissing, throwing up. Like, he looked like he wanted to pass out. Like, he looked like he didn't know what to do.
He was even saying, like, that's treason. What we're talking about right now
is treason. Sam's like, it's not treason. It's true. Like, it's just a fact. So this is going to create some more hectic interactions. And, you know, how does he drop this bombshell? Does he drop this bombshell on everyone? Surely will be interesting. And they are constructing the dragon glass weapons as of right now too. We saw Gendry talk to Arya for a little bit. We saw Arya with the Hound. There's a ton of interactions without getting into every single one. It was just definitely dope to see, though. It was huge. I loved it.
Yeah, we saw Cersei get her golden company.
She not only got her golden company, but well, Euron got a little something in return and got, you know, to be in bed with Cersei. He said he wanted to put a prince inside her belly. There's still that possibility that she has Jamie's baby inside her belly, but we can't confirm if it's true or not yet. So does she try to manipulate Euron and say it's his if she does have one? What is she doing with him? She seems like she's kind of maneuvering carefully around him and kind of starting to manipulate him, maybe using his arrogance to her advantage. Which is surely will be interesting. We finally saw Ed and Tormund. They are alive. and found the Umber Boy pinned up against the wall with the same formation. We had seen that formation before. After the Night King and his army, I forget where.
It was definitely north of the wall. It was with a bunch of limbs. It might have even been in like the first season or something like that. But we definitely have seen that symbol before, and we also saw similar symbols that were marked by the Children of the Forest in the cave at Dragonstone.
And here's the problem, ladies and gents. Ed and Tormund, they're here. Winterfell's here. And the undead's right there, baby. The sandwich fleet with them in the center. How do they get back to Winterfell? Can they get there? I mean, if the horses last, they'll get there before the undead, but they still have to avoid being spotted by the undead because that is a death sentence. So, yeah.
We also have
Jamie. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, well, yeah, we could actually, I'll go from Bran right into Jamie because that will be the last piece. Bran just got offered, a lot of gold in exchange for the assassination of Jamie and Tyrion. Qyburn came to him with a proposal. He gave him the crossbow, the same one that was used by Tyrion to take out Tywin. So does Bran's loyalty go? Well, I don't know if it was exactly the same one. It seemed like the same.
It was the implication because Qyburn said, it was poetic or whatnot.
Yeah.
And it might have been the same crossbow that Joffrey used to kill.
Yeah, I think
those whores, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Does he do it? Does he sacrifice what? I mean, I think he's an honorable enough man to not do it, but will he do it? We don't know yet. We might find out, or we'll be sure to find out. And lastly, Jamie arrives in Winterfell and sees a familiar, a long forgotten face of a boy he once pushed out of a window.
Not sure if either of them ever forgot, but definitely a long time.
Well, one that he probably hasn't been thinking about. And first familiar face you could say he sees is Bran's in there, like
Bran.
Staring at him. Bran.
That'll never go away.
It's just every once in a while, but I mean, yeah. So do we get to see them talk to each other? It would be very interesting. Does Jamie try to just scurry away and be like, out of sight, out of mind? I don't think you can really do that with Bran rolling around. He's always lurking somewhere. So
we'll have to see. With that being said, let's not keep you guys waiting any longer. Here we go.
When I was a child, my brother would tell me a bedtime story.
We're starting off hot.
About the man who murdered our father.
Oh.
He told me other stories as well. About all the things we would do to that man once we took back the Seven Kingdoms.
But your father was a piece of shit. No offense.
Your sister pledged to send her army north.
She did.
I don't see an army. I see one man with one hand.
Oh.
It appears your sister lied to me.
Leave his hand out of it, though. It's not fair.
He left his hand out of it, too.
Nice.
She has Euron Greyjoy's fleet and 20,000 fresh troops. The Golden Company from Essos.
Jamie dropped the bomb.
And she's grilling Tyrion.
I promised to fight for the living. I intend to keep that promise.
Good on you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Your Grace, I know my brother.
Like you knew your sister.
Oh!
Yeah, Tyrion.
He came here
over
alone,
fucking 6 now.
Why would he do that if you weren't telling the truth?
Perhaps he trusts his little brother to defend him. Right up to the moment he slits my throat.
Oh my fuck.
Tried to destroy my house and my family the same as he did yours.
Do you want me to apologize? I won't. We were at war. Everything I did for my house and my family. I'd do it all again.
The things we do for love.
Oh my god! He probably thought he was a mute or something because he never spoke. He just sits there.
He is a man of honor. I was his captor once. But when we were both taken prisoner and the men holding us tried to force themselves on me, Sir Jamie defended me. And lost his hand because of it.
Okay, Brienne. Yeah. Talk.
You vouch for him. I do.
Looks like that kindness that Jamie had might pay off.
Yeah.
Let him stay.
Oh, that's one.
And that just made Danny pissed.
What does the Warden of the North say about it?
That's King of the Iron Throne, actually.
We need every man we can get.
That's 2.
That's 2.
Very well.
Tyrion's like,
he's like, thank God. He's like, I can't.
I don't think he breathed the whole time.
Dude, homie hasn't been able to win at all since he became her advisor. He's taken loss after loss.
This is death. You want to know what they're like? Death. That's what they're like.
It's almost like people can't grasp it. I feel that, though.
I know that.
How do you relate?
Yeah, she knows death. She served under the death god.
That's
yeah,
true.
exactly. It's got many faces.
I look forward to seeing this one.
Here's my thing. It's like, yeah, no, true. But like, until you fought one, everyone talks big game until they fucking see it.
Yeah,
And it's like, you know, it's totally different the second you see one. And you're like, this thing does what? I chopped it in half and it's still crawling at me. I don't have, what else do I do? I didn't see Night King with his fucking ice blue eyes. Like,
I'm sorry for what I did to you.
But you did anyway.
It's a good way to start.
Yeah.
You weren't sorry then.
I'm not that person anymore.
You still would be. If you hadn't pushed me out of that window. And I would still be Brandon Stark.
I was just going to say, you know.
That was Brandon
kind of
saying, like, thank you.
Yeah. Kind of like this needed to happen almost. Like.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
I'm not angry at anyone.
Why didn't you tell them?
You won't be able to help us in this fight if I let them murder you first.
What about afterwards?
How do you know there is an afterwards?
That shook him.
You know what I like too is like it's cool that he like these grown characters, the older characters like Jamie and Tyrion, all them are getting to experience. Well, now he's getting the first time to experience these they were basically children to him, and like he didn't, you know, especially Bran.
Sure.
Last time he saw him, he was just a child. Now he's like completely different. You see all these interactions with the Stark children being like adults. They like age so fast.
Yeah.
Was she lying about the baby too?
No. That part is real.
Oh.
You wouldn't be too hard on yourself. She's fooled me more than anybody.
She never fooled you. You always knew exactly what she was. And you loved her anyway.
Damn.
Bars.
That had to have kind of hurt. That was like a crazy line, like, you know, basically telling like, nah, buddy, you knew. You just you were just in denial and refused to see it.
No. He's saying you knew, you weren't in denial, you didn't refuse to see it, you just loved her too much, you didn't care. That's what he was saying. At least that's how I took it.
I guess I was arguing that it's almost, I guess they're kind of similar, but I can see, they're different and similar.
It should give us some advantage. If we can keep a tight formation, we might be able to beat them back.
Yes, I think you're right.
What are you doing?
What?
I think you know.
I truly don't.
We have never had a conversation last this long without you insulting me. Not once.
I'm not the fighter I used to be, but I'd be honored to serve under your command, if you'll have me.
Wow.
I better get back.
They are such a unique pair, and their interactions and their relationships so unique to the show. It's like crazy.
Yeah. There's so many. What the dynamics that this show produces.
Just insane.
Yeah.
When I heard you named Tyrion your hand, it broke my heart.
He's made mistakes. Serious mistakes.
He owns his and learns from them.
You're advising me to forgive the man who stole your position.
I am.
Wow.
Men do stupid things for women. They're easily manipulated.
She's not wrong.
All my life, I've known one goal.
She's not.
The Iron Throne. Until I met John. Now I'm here. Half a world away. fighting John's war alongside him. Tell me who manipulated whom.
Ah, that's fair.
Interesting.
We destroy Cersei. What happens then? We took it back, and we said we'd never bow to anyone else again. What about the North?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Theon. Oh, look at that reunion.
Oh. That's another one I forgot about. That's a big, yeah.
I want to fight for Winterfell, Lady Sansa.
Chills. I just got chills.
Aww.
Oh man, chills. chills. And it's just the definition of the series or this season so far. It's fucking chills every time.
All the children will be going below when the time
I'm
comes.
sure she reminds him of Shireen because of
Yeah.
her face.
I want to fight too.
I'm going to be in the crypt with my son, and I'd feel a lot better with you down there to protect us.
I'm sure a lot of people would.
Oh,
All right, I'll defend the crypt then.
that's crazy.
Aw.
Some of the children are braver than the men, man. And the full-grown men and women.
Hey.
They made it. All right.
No Tormund. Ah, there he is.
Yeah, there he is. Where's Brienne? This is crazy. I've never seen so many main characters just in the same location. It's insane. All clumped.
The Umbers? Fighting for the Night King now.
Yep.
Whoever's not here now is with them. How long do we have? Before the sun comes up tomorrow.
What? What? What?
The big woman's still here?
I knew it. I knew it. I knew he was going to be like, so where is she? Because I got to talk to him.
We have dragon glass and Valyrian steel,
It's time.
but there are too many of them.
Well, it's close to time.
It's fucking, it's approaching pretty quick.
The Night King made them all. They follow his command. If he falls, getting to him may be our best chance.
If that's true, he'll never expose himself.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Right.
He wants to erase this world, and I am its memory.
That's what death is, isn't it? Forgetting. Being forgotten.
That's chilling.
Yeah, what a cool kind of like symbolism type of draw. Like,
Yeah, killing men is one thing, but
gotta
Bran
kill the
holds
memory
the
of
memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to lure him into the open before his army destroys us all. I'll wait for him in the Godswood.
I took this castle from you. Let me defend you now.
What?
There's just too many main characters here.
You'll be in the crypt.
Your Grace, I have fought before. I can do it again.
You can't fight as well as they can, but you can think better than any of them. You're here because of your mind. If we survive, I'll need it.
That's a great excuse.
Yeah.
Dragonfire will stop him.
I don't know. No one's ever tried.
That's terrifying to hear.
Yeah.
Sam, tell me you
all
you
going
read
to die.
something.
But at least we died together.
I fucking love him.
Your Grace.
Oh, she doesn't even know that. She's gonna be like, why is he being so weird? Like, cause he knows.
Yeah.
When Daenerys takes her throne, there will be no place for us here.
Do we want to grow old in this place?
I'd like to see the beaches again.
Then I will take you there.
My people are peaceful.
Why are you shaking your head?
Every, because they hold on. I want to listen to the rest of this.
We will protect you.
because they keep fucking layering. They're making the relationships too tight. So I know that like if Grey Worm goes down or Missandei goes down, there they go. They're fucked for the rest of their life emotionally. Like,
Think back to where we started.
Yeah, these three, man.
No, it's just us three.
Last man left. Burn the rest of us.
Chills. Last man left. Burn the rest of us. Look at that.
oh, so ominous. Just looking out into the dark, just knowing like, because as soon as you see the first one, it's just like
it's game.
It's
like it's
yeah,
time.
like
It's time.
now.
Game begun.
Yeah. Is that a double-ended spear?
No, but it's a spear, and she has been trained with the staff when she was blind, so it's a pretty
that's
good
cool.
weapon to have. Cool little callback.
What did the red woman want with
Actually, yeah, it is double-ended.
Bro, she was twirling that shit. That was cool.
Yeah, you're right. That is
She wanted my
double-ended.
blood. Some kind of spell.
Why your blood?
I'm Robert Baratheon's bastard. I didn't know until she told me.
Your first time with a woman.
What?
Oh, you'd think he got to...
I wasn't with her.
Were you with other girls? Before that in King's Landing?
Why are you asking?
I didn't keep count.
Yes, you did.
3.
It's interesting she said yes, you did. It's almost like she can...
We're
She's like
basically going to die soon.
reading lies, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I ought to know what it's like before that happens.
That's where I thought this was going.
You're not the knight?
Women can't be knights.
Why not?
Tradition.
Fuck tradition.
Any knight can make another knight. Kneel, Lady Brienne. Do you want to be a knight or not?
He's like, don't laugh. I'm dead ass.
In the name of the warrior, I charge you to be brave. In the name of the father, I charge you to be just. In the name of the mother, I charge you to defend the innocent.
Wow. Means so much to her.
Right.
Arise, Brienne of Tarth, a knight of the 7 kingdoms.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Chills.
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 Again. Fuck me. Again. My spine. I'm sick of feeling cold, guys. Biggest fan. Coleman right there. Yes. Yes.
Knight of the 7 kingdoms.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
That's amazing. That's awesome, man. Come
Nobody
on.
will receive that kind of kindness from Jamie other than Brienne. She holds a special place in his heart. I'm sure he holds a special place in her heart too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's my family sword.
You still have a family.
Yes, and I'd love to defend them with it. But I can't really hold it upright. Your father, he taught me how to be a man. How to do what's right. This is right.
Fuck, dude. Even these two, you would never expect the relationship, the dynamic. It's crazy. It works. It's awesome.
These are interactions that you would never expect to be like this. Oh my god! Like wow.
Yeah.
Like this heartfelt moment of just like respect and
I'll
just...
wield it in his memory.
No, he's got a
To
Valyrian
guard the
steel
realms of
sword.
men.
Yeah, that's a big ass fucking sword. That shit's huge.
How about a song? One of you must know one.
High in the halls of the kings who are gone, Jenny would dance with her ghosts. The ones she had lost and the ones she had found, and the ones who had loved her the most. The ones who'd been gone for so very long,
Oh my God. Just, it's just like,
it's the night before.
It's spooky, bro. The way that it's just so spooky. Like
his voice is beautiful.
Yeah. But the song in the background panning across all these characters, and you're just like,
she never wanted to leave.
The song is amazing.
Never wanted to leave. Never wanted to leave.
Fucking chills.
Never wanted to leave.
And that, Isaiah, has to be the reason why he got those ladies for free.
I was just gonna say he can sing. He's got a magic penis. Like, what more? This man does everything. And now he can fight. Like, it's crazy.
Who's that?
That's your sister-in-law?
Stark.
Yeah.
My brother Rhaegar. Everyone told me he was decent and kind, and he raped her.
He didn't.
Well.
Oh no, he's gonna drop the shell.
He loved her.
I need a nuclear countdown.
They were married in secret. After Rhaegar fell on the Trident, she had a son. As she bled to death on her birthing bed, was give the boy to her brother, Ned Stark, to raise as his bastard. My name. My real
Chills.
name
Chills.
is Aegon Targaryen.
A secret no one in the world knew. Except your brother and your best friend.
Yeah, that sounds awfully,
Doesn't seem strange to you?
Yeah.
It would make you the last male heir of House Targaryen. You'd have a claim to the Iron Throne.
Not just a claim.
Yeah, the claim.
That's 3 horns.
It's time, bro. Chills again.
You know why you're getting chills, right?
Winter's here.
Winter is here. Look at that line. And those are all White Walkers.
Yeah.
There it is. It's here. There's no escaping it now. It's
too late.
time.
They should run.
And this is Podrick's song. I just want to kind of talk about Podrick's song real quick. I never forget it. Like, I always think back to the song because what's interesting about the song is it's about this girl who was, dancing in the hall, and she was having a great time, and she didn't want it to end. And I think that speaks so loudly to this, not only the show that we're approaching the end, and we don't want it to end. We don't want to leave, per se, the hall. And I think it's really also, talks about, this is it. This is the night before the White Walkers arrive. And and it could be the end.
Right. It could be the end of humanity. Right. It's
And
like she doesn't want the dance to end.
Right. Exactly. This could be the end. And so they're kind of like all listening to this song about staying in a moment for eternity, and in this moment before they come, this moment of we're alive right now. There might the White Walkers might be minutes away, but they're not here at this minute. And I wish that this minute would never leave. Like, that song gives me so much chills when I listen to it.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. But with that being said, that was Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. If you guys liked what you're watching, leave a like down below. And if you want to watch a full-length reaction to this and the last episodes of the show, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that is in the description. Zay, what are your initial thoughts?
Man, just build up anxiety and emotions, and just they did so well of like encapsulating this feeling of like doomsday is on its way. People kind of like just making peace or trying to make peace. Like some people getting almost like these things that they dreamed about, or like they want to achieve, or however you may want to phrase it, and like finally getting those like graces.
Brienne being knighted.
Brienne.
I mean, that's the name of the episode, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
You could even say like Arya, I mean, her thing was like she wanted to experience intercourse for the first time, you know, before she died. So it's like these people are like these relationships and everything that's happening. It's like, hey, it feels like, yeah, like if this was like, if you knew tomorrow the earth was going to end, this is, I imagine the mood is what it would be like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is like, I want to do this before I like, just do it now because this could be the end. And yeah, it was amazing. Really dope episode.
Yeah, I agree. That was that was awesome. And yeah, I mean, look, it's here. It's like,
it's here.
When they pass the wall, yeah, winter is here. It's in Westeros, but like, no, this is it.
No, they're here. They're in Winterfell. This is it.
Yeah, it's time. And there's, you know, who knows how that's going to turn out. We'll get into that a little bit later. Let's get into the Q&A. Let's start with Jamie. So Jamie arrives at Winterfell and basically says, I'm not here. I'm here to fight for the living. Jamie obviously came to his senses and decided, you know, there's no debate here. He understands, just like everybody else, it's the wars with the dead, and everything else we'll worry about after. But Dany let him live because of Brienne vouching for him, and Sansa, and Jon as well. And he had a conversation with Bran, and he also had another conversation with Brienne, and he knighted Brienne. I guess there was a lot of things going on with Jamie. Do you think that this could be the end for him? I mean, what does he have to go back to at the end if they do live? And if they don't, you know, then it definitely is the end for him. What are your thoughts about Jamie this episode? Kind of, you know, his arrival at King's Landing or at Winterfell, how they took it, and what do you think is in store for him in the future, whether the White Walkers win or whether they don't win?
It certainly felt like they were kind of gearing you up and trying to push you in the direction of like him trying to make peace for like his past sins, I guess you could say, and like things that he's done, and trying to just, you know what, like if I'm going to go out, then it's like, you know, there's, you know, I've done a lot of wrong in my life. At least let me go out doing something right, or doing the right, you know? Yeah, he doesn't have much to go to, even if they win. It's like, okay, you know, if they win, I mean, their next concern would be Cersei. So, you know, but it's like his family's pretty much all broken apart. It's like you got like their family's pretty much been shattered. They've been through all those traumatic experiences. It seems like he's willing to just kind of, it seems like he's making peace and has come to being at peace with himself. And it would be interesting if they win because, you know, I mean, he's no use as a dead man. They need everyone they can get. And it seems as though Sansa and Bran and such have kind of accepted and for maybe not necessarily forgave him, but just are like, you know what, make peace with his past actions. But Dany, I know Dany allowed him to live, but that's not saying Dany still accepts the fact that he killed her father. Sure. To me, that's still a possibility of you can still face punishment for your actions. But right now, that's not too much of a concern for me because we have this war to win before I can even be worried about that. So
yeah,
it's a sticky situation for him either way, whether he I mean, well, it's not sticky if he dies. If he dies, he dies. But if he does survive, yeah. Does he face some sort of trial by Dany? Will Dany be willing to, you know, kind of move past what he did as the Kingslayer? Or yeah, will she kind of punish him? You know, just be like, you know, I need justice for, she's big on justice and she might want that justice for her father, even though her father was insane.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We have Tyrion, who he is on Dany's thinnest ice. At least he was at the beginning of this. Jorah talked to Dany and said, look, listen, this man is smart. He's clever. He owns his mistakes. Sure, he's made them, but he learns from them. And ultimately, Dany said, you're staying in the crypts. You're not fighting. I need your mind for after this. Do you think that she's, you know, forgiven Tyrion? Do you think that their relationship is more at like, okay, you're the hand of the queen, you know, that's what you'll stay. What are your thoughts about that, situation? Do you think Tyrion will obey the orders and stay in the crypts? What are your thoughts about that whole situation and the future of these two if they do make it out? I'm going to be talking to you about hypotheticals because this is Game of Thrones and there's a chance that none of them make it out, and I'll ask you about that as well. I'll ask you about possibilities of what do you think would happen for the rest of the episodes if no one makes it out, which is a possibility. But let's answer what I asked first.
I
and we'll get into that.
I think she, at the end of the day, I think she really does respect Jorah's opinion. I think she understands. I mean, to put it in her words, you want me to forgive the man that took your position? You were my hand and he took your spot. He has it. If anything, most men would have been like, he's fucking up. He's not a good hand. He's not a good hand. You know who was a good hand? This one right here. I was it one time. And I think that she is coming to understand that, he's making mistakes, and Jorah's right. He is accepting his mistakes, and he doesn't shy away from saying, I fucked up. I was wrong about this. I was wrong about this. It comes down to, do you want an arrogant man, man that's not willing to accept his mistakes, even when he makes them, or someone that's like, he fucks up, but you know what? He's honest with himself and he's honest with you. Like, I know I made a mistake. I think that her assigning him to the crypt was a sign that she intends to keep him as the hand. I think Jorah has a point that, out of who you could have be your hand, I don't see much people that are better than Tyrion. Call me a Tyrion stan man, but I think Tyrion stan man, I think he's got the mind for it. He's, like I said, he fucks up, but everybody makes mistakes through the show. And I mean, everyone makes mistakes when they're in positions of power. You can't be perfect. So I think she's kind of just starting to accept it. And I think it's also showing character growth on her standpoint where, when she was first, maybe further back, when she was first starting to build up towards claiming the Iron Throne, she might have just been like, nah, you fucked up. Nah, you lost me these armies. No, you're not hand of the king. I don't want, So, and also I guess kind of because I just kind of thought about it. I mean, remember Jorah had betrayed her at one point. He even came clean and was like, listen, I fucked. She found out and he was like, I know I messed up this. She was like, nah, exiled. You know what I mean? Now he's back, but it's like, you could say that if Tyrion fucked up like that, she probably would have been like, nah, bye, gone. I'll find someone. Doesn't matter. You're sabotaging me. I do think that she's still treading, carefully and still being a little weary. As long as Cersei's in power and alive, you could argue that she could be worried that Tyrion might not have the best intentions and he is just playing the game. Lannisters are crafty and he's smart. He's crafty. I don't think Tyrion's going to stay in the crypt. I think that he won't be able to handle knowing his brother's out there fighting, Dany's out there with her dragons. I assume she's going to be out there with her dragons, etc. I think that, it's going to come down to, and he's going to be like, I'm not staying in this crypt. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die fighting. I'm not going to die waiting, for the undead to get to me.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Speaking of treading lightly, Dany had a conversation with Sansa and was kind of like, who really manipulated who? I'm here helping your brother. He's the one who I had no intention on doing this, but once I met him, now I'm here. But Sansa had a question. Sansa said, if this all ends, what happens to the North? We just got it back. Are you telling me that you're going to take it back from us? Sansa was wondering, and she took her hand off of Sansa, got a little spicy there. What are your thoughts about these two? For a second, we thought some reconciliation was happening, but then when it came to the heavy topic, it didn't seem like we got any reconciliation there. So what are your thoughts about their relationship? And hypothetically, if everything moves forward after this battle, which again, it might not, and I'll ask you about if it might not, like I mentioned before, but if it does, what are your thoughts about that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it was time to have that tough conversation. You want to make reconciliation. It's still an uncomfortable situation. It's like, I need to rule all 7 kingdoms. And it's like, yeah, but we don't want to bend a knee, and we fought, Sansa has every right to be like that, I think. I think that she has a very valid point, man. Like we don't want to bend a knee. Like we fought for this. We lost it and had to get it back. And now for us to get it back just to say, oh, but it's yours, but we can just kind of like be here. Like, nah, man, like our family's been through way too much. You know, I think it's tough because she asked it pretty bluntly. She didn't really ease into it. She basically was like, yeah, what about the North? You know, and Dany is still trying to, I think, like it feels like Dany, like she's starting to come around to like maybe she's starting to come around to the idea of like understanding that, you know, they're not going to be willing to give this up without a fight. I don't know. She definitely seemed taken aback by the question, but could it have just been from like the shock of her asking it? Maybe with more time to sit on it, maybe she'll kind of reconsider, you know, or, you know, give them a higher position of power, whatever the case may be, tries to meet some sort of middle ground with them. But, you know, it's two people that are very loyal to their homes, very loyal to like their claims, and, you know, pretty like, yeah, like they're just like, I'm not budging. I don't want to budge, you know, and who are you to make me budge is kind of the argument on both ends. If they move forward, maybe they'll reach a term, like some sort of terms, you know, where they can find a middle ground, or find understanding. But it's she's a loose, it's so like, she's not like a loose cannon, but she's so hard to like figure out like what she's going to do, because sometimes her reactions are like not too impulsive and not too crazy. Then other times she's just like ruthless. She's like, fuck it. Like, sure. Like sometimes it is just clear cut. And then sometimes she's like, all right, like, let's work this out, you know? So yeah, it's definitely interesting. I like it. I kind of like how this show really turned into, you know, we mostly had seen men in power. I think I mentioned this too at one point, in one of the previous reactions. We're really transitioned from like men all in like the power stances, like leaders, you know, whatever of the cities, like now we have a queen instead of a king, or we had a king, now we have queen, etc. And now they're more just like the generals, and you have the women being like the political powers holding it down. So it's cool to see them interact.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Another interesting interaction we had was Missandei and Grey Worm. You know, they were talking about, look, this isn't gonna, people here, so why don't we go to, you know, where do you want to go? And Missandei says, I want to go to North. I want to see the beaches again. Do you think that if everything went well and they managed to win the war, do you think that Dany would still let them go at that point? Or do you think that they wouldn't be able to go? Do you think that this could be their happy ending? Or do you think, like you mentioned, that it's not going to have a happy ending? What are your thoughts about these two and their future in this show?
It's hard to say. I mean, I can speak on if I think it would have a happy ending, in that would Dany let them go or not go. It's hard to say, obviously, with the upcoming battle, because it could go any way. I mean, we could lose. You never know what characters you might lose in a battle. It might lose. I mean, I'd be far fetched to say we might lose. Imagine we lose none, or, you know, one. You know, and I could never guess what ones we were going to lose, because I don't know. What I would say, though, yeah, I'd say Dany, at the very least, if they came out of this, they were both alive after all that they've done for her, I would believe that Dany would grant them the ability to go back to North, you know, see the beaches, and just, you know what, you were loyal to me through this whole time. You fought for me. You helped me. Like, just they have been by her side and loyal, and haven't done anything for her to even question their loyalty. You could argue that that's a reason for her to say no. Like, I need you by my side. But I think at the end of the day, Dany would be like, you know, your service was beyond what most could offer, and it's only right that I allow you to, you know, get to experience that peace, to be able to settle with yourselves. So, you know, fingers crossed that they make it through, and that I think that they hopefully will see the beaches of North.
All right, we'll have to find out. Let's talk about Jon and Dany. Jon revealed his backstory to Dany, and Dany at first was like, no, not possible, not true.
Nope.
But
no,
then Jon was like, no, Bran's funky self, and Sam read in the books, and, you know, it turns out to be true. And Dany's like, listen, if what you're saying is true, that means you would have a claim, and I think she knows he would have the claim. She just didn't want to say it. What are your thoughts about that entire situation? If they both make it out of this, how is that going to affect things going forward between these two? Like, what are your what are your thoughts there?
Yeah. I thought it was, what I thought was interesting about it is, John brings it up to her. And, we've heard him time and time again say, I didn't want to be king of the North. I didn't want to be king of the North. And she brought, like, he could have said, like, look, technically, when she said, like, technically you have a claim to the throne, he could have said right there, I don't want the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Could have. He didn't.
Could have.
Which was very interesting to me because he's quick to say, I did not want to be. True. But he did say, like, I mean, he was pretty steadfast. Because I don't want to be king of the North. I wonder, maybe is the Iron Throne a little more enticing? Does he think he could be a good leader? I mean, this is just speculation, guys, obviously. But yeah, I don't blame her for at first kind of doubting it. I mean, you're telling me your psychic brother and your best friend are now telling you that you're supposed to be king. It does create a weird, almost like rift in their relationship now, because I think she's so protective of her claim and wanting to be on the Iron Throne and wanting to be, queen of the Seven Kingdoms, that to her, she might start to view John as more of a threat. Obviously they got cut off, like you said, with the 3 horns. So she didn't really have much time to really start to, sit down and think about it. And they didn't really get to talk about it too much. It basically was, hey, bombshell. Oh shit, war's here. So we don't have time. It's like, I guess we're going to figure it out after we get out of the fray. Yeah, I'll be interested to see, will John kind of say, hey, look, I don't want the throne. You can have it. Will he tell other people? We know Sam, Bran, and John know. Will he tell the rest of Winterfell, the other lords and his sisters? He tells someone like Sansa. Sansa will be like, well, you should claim the throne. Like, she's kind of just straight up like, well, if it's your throne, then you should, she, and I think she respects John's leadership ability, and knows that he could be possibly a great king, but it all comes down to, does he want it in the first place? And I don't know how their relationship, him and Dany's, will develop after that, because they've had a very intimate, they got pretty intimate already. So as intimate as you can get without having a child. So it just threw a huge wrench into their relationship, and it's game time at Winterfell. So I guess they don't have time to speculate and think on it and talk about it. So we're going to see after this battle. If they make it out,
we'll have to find out about that. And I guess that leads us to game time. So it's here. Winter has come. Winter has arrived. The Winterfell is facing down the army of the dead, and they have a plan. The plan is to have Bran be used as bait, sitting by the tree, and Theon will be protecting him. And they'll lure the Night King out and just get him. Do you think that plan will be successful? They have Sam, who's read books. We don't know if there's any more knowledge that he's gained. Do you think he'll have something he could pull out? Do you think that the plan won't be successful and they'll have to change something up? What are your thoughts about that whole situation? And, how do you think their game plan is going to go?
Yeah. I think the plan would have an ability to be more successful if the Night King wasn't on a dragon, because when he's on a horse, it's a little bit easier. The horse can only do so much on the ground. Like a dragon can, like, you're got to hit him on this giant beast that is flying and twisting and turning. So even if they get a shot at him to hit him, now we have to be like, okay, well, are they going to even get him, or are they going to and not to mention that plan can fall apart. Important to note that the scene ended, we didn't even see the Night King. All we saw was the White Walkers on their horses. We don't know how far back he is. We don't know if he's planning or if he's being smart. why would you send a general out to be at the head? Right? It's
Sure.
like you lose the general, you could say that like a plan could really fall apart. A leader could fall apart. It's like that's like a king marching into battle like at the head of his army. You'd be like,
sure,
well, if we kill him,
it
then
happens.
it happens for sure. But you know, it's almost makes it too easy for the opposing side, or can make it too easy. You know, just from just a base standpoint and
I mean,
ideals.
it could motivate them to fight even more, but it could demotivate them as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It can. Yeah, it can either motivate or demotivate. In this sense, it would be more demotivating because they're banking on killing him and dropping all of them. It would basically win. So, I don't see the plan working out as easily. You know, it always looks good on paper, man. But again, we don't know where he is. We don't know, like, you know, he's on a dragon, so he could just be floating super high up, waiting to just dive bomb behind the walls and just kind of just like laying blue fire down across Winterfell, which would be a huge fucking issue because obviously now he's taking out the whole castle and like pinning the army in between a dragon and his military. So
what happens if the army of the dead gets to Bran before the Night King? Like, what if he doesn't need to expose himself? You know, like, or what happens if the, you know, do you think the army of the dead is going to breach Winterfell? What are your thoughts about that situation? Because that would certainly, if they get to the tree section, I mean, how does their plan work anymore? If that's where Bran is, there's a couple situations there. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, if they breach Winterfell, that's panic mode. One, that means that your army must be getting fucked because you guys pretty much have the military outside the wall. So a breach of Winterfell is like you're in desperation mode. Now you really just have to be like, yo, we need to kill him. We need to find him, do whatever we can to get this.
Or do you think they will? Do you think Winterfell will keep him off? Or keep him defended enough?
Wishful thinking would say, yeah, I'd like to say that they'll be able to beat them off, keep them off. I almost said beat them off, pause. But the problem is that it's just, for me, the sheer numbers of the undead and just having the White Walkers and the giants and stuff. I think that there will be a valiant fight at the front in the field. I do see a potential, you know, fall back into Winterfell and like a last stand, like from inside the castle as the, you know, the undead are continue. You know what I'm saying? So kind of like a meet in the middle. Kind of realize like, shit, like we might need to like get behind the walls. Like we're gonna have to defend from like a better an armored standpoint behind the garrisons and everything. And yeah, I think we might end up seeing a breach of Winterfell.
It's possible.
And I mean, if they breach it, hopefully they can get Bran out of there and can evacuate Winterfell. Especially if like they didn't get enough of the undead, but. Yeah, dude, this battle can go so many different ways. He has so many different units, giants, fucking White Walkers on horses, undead, a dragon. Like, I mean, he has like, he had a bear at one point. Like, come on, bro. Like, he's got so many versatile units, and his army is gonna be something to fucking deal with for sure.
Well, let me ask you about this possibility. What if they win?
God.
What if they take over Winterfell? Yep, and take out all of Winterfell. Do you think that there's a chance in the South for Cersei and her army and maybe others to band together and defeat the White Walkers? Do you think that there might be some remnant survivors in Winterfell that might be able to make their way to King's Landing and, you know, convince Cersei of how bad it actually is? Do you think that there won't be any survivors if they win? What are your thoughts about the possibility of the White Walkers actually winning this particular battle, and if there's hope after the fact if they do?
If they take out Winterfell, I'm not confident in King's Landing to survive this at all. I'm just not. I don't think, you know, at this point, it's like you don't have Jamie, who's like was the head of your military strategy. You have Euron, who's good on naval sense, but what about on, you know, leading an army out? You know, they always talk about the Ironborn and all that, and how, you know, they're great on the sea, but they're not particularly great on land. The Golden Company, like I said, bro, the Golden Company, they're across the sea. I wouldn't put it past them to be like say what now? You want us to fight what?
No, the Golden Company's in King's Landing now.
Now I know, but I'm saying they're from across the sea.
Oh, gotcha.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, nah, we're going back home. We're going back because again, we learned this in the history and lore. They are known for, they will fight for gold, but they pick and choose their battles very well. My question is, again, what did Cersei relay to these guys? Did she say that we're gonna take out the North and say that we just need to take out the North and then you guys get all your gold? Because if she told them about the undead and all this other BS, I highly doubt there would have been like, yes, let's sail across the sea to go fight this ginormous military that will take anything they kill and add them to their own arsenal. I don't see King's Landing. I see King's Landing putting up a hell of a fight. Sure. If they win, if the Night King wins,
there could be potential survivors from Winterfell that come and maybe warn King's Landing of how how they failed, and that might help and teach them how to succeed.
Could certainly help. Or it could, someone like Cersei could even just be like, I'm leaving. Like, you know what? It's about my survival, my child that have my stomach. So I'll sail across any sea to make sure I keep my distance from them. I'm painting her in a very, very bad light. However, it's for good reason. It's within reason, I think, to paint her out like this, in my opinion, from how I view her character. But yeah, if there is survivors, I don't think that message will relate to her as they would want it to. I don't think it would motivate her to be like, all right, let's hold it down. We got this. She'd be more like, like if we're really, or maybe she would be like, I'd rather die. She's a child. I don't think that she'd be willing to die in King's Landing. I think she would just be like, fuck it.
We'll have to see. There's a chance that everybody lives. There's a chance that everybody dies. But there's only one way to find out. And that's to move on to the next episode. With that being said, if you guys liked what you're watching, leave a like down below. Subscribe to stay tuned for more. And if you want to watch a full-length reaction to this and the last episodes of the show, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that is in the description. Zay, I know you have a Twitch.
Yes, I do, guys. My Twitch will be linked down in the description below. Come tune in, come say hi. My stream schedule will be on my profile, so just check that out if you're wondering when the next time I'll be live is. But yeah, come say hi in the chat. Have a good time. If you enjoy the content, feel free to follow. And Cam, I know you have a Twitch as well.
Yep, just your average Cam. Links in the description. Whether you're a Patreon, a subscriber, a donator, it means so much for the support. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see you on the next one, and peace.